What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another episode of Luttie's Lookback. My name is Nick Luttrell. We've got another fun, jam-packed sports show for you today on THV11 Plus or YouTube, wherever you are watching us. We're going to talk about Arkansas basketball, baseball, softball, and all those sports, but with all the other D1 teams within the natural state. We look forward to that. We just had the first weekend of college baseball, so that was really exciting. We'll get to Arkansas baseball here in about 10 minutes, but first we're going to talk about basketball. Arkansas basketball. We'll start my show how we always do with my three big things from Arkansas's 88-75 home win against Auburn. They got their revenge exactly like they needed to. So here are my three big things. You see them behind me. Billy Richmond legacy game is my first big thing. Darius Acuff still doesn't get enough credit, even though he's amazing, and he doesn't get the credit I think he deserves. That's my second big thing. And my third big thing is the next game will be the real test. And I know this was kind of going to be it, but the next one, which I'll talk about, will really be a test for the Razorbacks. These few games, the past few games have been easy compared to what they're going to have, I think, at Alabama. So we'll talk about that in a second. Let's go back to specifically talking about this game. Let's go back to specifically talking about the player that helped them win this game the most. Even though he didn't lead the Razorbacks in scoring, I still think Billy Richmond deserves game MVP from this game just because of his all-around play. And not only was he energetic and flashy and making all his buckets, he wasn't doing stupid Billy Richmond things, turning over the ball. That's been probably the most underrated part of his performance this season is he hasn't turned the ball over as much as he did last season. This team has barely turned the ball over. That's what's so impressive about this Arkansas team that makes me think they could go far is their offensive efficiency numbers are off the charts. Now, I know we've talked about how defense can be a concern. Never with Billy Richmond. Billy Richmond has the defense and he's got the offense. And I know he's not always the best player, and he probably never will be the best player on Arkansas's team or when he goes pro. But he is a darn good role player, especially for this Arkansas team, and he was a star player in this game. I know Darius Acuff had more points, and we'll get to him, and I'm the one who's not giving him enough credit right here. But Billy Richmond, 38 minutes, 25 points, 12 of 15 shooting. That's 80%. That's pretty good. That's pretty high efficiency. 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He did a little bit of everything. He contributed in the way and he contributed above and beyond to what Arkansas needed him to contribute to this game to get the win. So that was exciting to see Billy Richmond perform like that and just be the Energizer Bunny. Be the Energizer Bunny. That's what Billy Richmond was in this game, and that's what helped Arkansas get the win. So before we talk about these other two things, let's toss it to Coach Cal and hear what he had to say about his star sophomore.
How about Billy Goat? This is crazy. What I love is when he's introduced, people go crazy. And it's because he's averaging 25 a game. What? No. He may be averaging 10 a game. But this building absolutely loves him because he just plays hard. He goes on to the next play. He has amnesia. But he's playing with so much energy and passion. We get it. See, body language screams. So when you have bad body language, it screams to your teammates. And now all of a sudden you have bad starts, you miss a shot, your head goes down. Can't be that guy. No one wants that teammate. This kid, what he's doing right now, he's good.
Yeah, he definitely is very good. And someone who's probably better than him, even though I started out this show talking about Billy Richmond, because there's not many times I start my show talking about Billy Richmond, is talking about a guy who is better than him, who will be a lottery pick, he'll be the SEC freshman of the year, no doubt. He might be the SEC player of the year at this rate. Darius Acuff Jr., and he still doesn't get enough credit. From a national perspective, I'm not seeing what I want to see as far as people hyping up Darius Acuff, because it's just like, how does someone quietly score 25-plus points every single game? It seems like that's what Darius Acuff does. And there's some games where it's like, this is his time, and he just explodes. Other time, it's just like kind of a quiet thing. Okay, he's got 12 points at halftime. All right, finished with 24 points. That's a good performance. But the fact that he keeps stacking and stacking and stacking all of these 20-plus performances on each other, is really impressive. The consistency, as I mentioned a month ago, and I'm still impressed that he's doing it now. I think there's maybe one game where he didn't perform to the level that we want him to. Besides that one game, and I can't remember which one it is, it might have been this Auburn game on the road. No one played good in that game, I don't think. It might have been that game. Besides that, man, this guy has been consistent. And this is an 18-year-old freshman coming out here and playing in front of 20,000 people, big games, and stepping up and having performances like this one. And this was also a little bit of a unique performance from him. Normally we see him drive to the basket, make a couple threes here or there. He shot 10 three-pointers. That's the most three-pointers he shot all season long, 10 of them. Normally I'd be like, dude, why are we shooting that many threes? But when you make 7 of them, that's pretty good. We'll take that percentage every day of the week, 70% from beyond the arc. That's impressive, and he's just so smooth. And he doesn't get the credit he deserves. I just talked about him for 2 minutes, and I should talk about him for 20 minutes. My whole show should be full of how Darius Acuff, or why Darius Acuff is the best player on the team, the best player of the decade, the best player of the century, maybe even the best player that Arkansas basketball has ever had. Now, give us some time. We're still a month away from Selection Sunday, but he's got the potential to do that. All right, my final big thing, let's look at things as a whole. Let's zoom out. Arkansas's got 6 games left. They're just coming off of, an LSU, a South Carolina, and Auburn that's not as good this year, and now an Alabama coming up on Wednesday night. An Alabama team that's been teetering being ranked and not. They had a whole fiasco with the player that was a former G League player, Bediako, and he played for Alabama, and now he doesn't anymore because he got denied eligibility. Since that guy left the team, I think Alabama's won 4 games in a row. Now, granted, they haven't played amazing competition just because the SEC is just not as good this season. It really is. It's not like one of those things where everyone's really good and they're all up here. I don't think it's as deep as it was. Certainly not last year. And I think it's been a few years since it's been this bad. I could be wrong, but it just kind of seems like that. And so I'm still confused. I'm still confused even we're at this point, 6 games left in the regular season. I'm confused how and why it's like this. But I still think Alabama's good, especially offensively, but so is Arkansas. And it scares me because Alabama's really good at offense. Arkansas is really good at offense. Both teams are not good at defense. So this game's going to be like 112 to 106. Arkansas is going to win on the road. Do I actually think that will happen? Probably not. I lean picking Alabama. Alabama will probably be a 5-point favorite at home. It just helps that they have this game at home. And even though they're not ranked, they might be by the time you're watching this when the AP poll comes out. We'll see. This Alabama team is still good. They're still a really good team. They're playing this game at home. Arkansas is going to go into a tough road environment. Their past few road games have not been tough road environments. LSU, that's not tough. That's not tough compared to what they're going to face at Alabama. It's probably going to be a strikeout or something. They're going to do that because Coach Cal is coming to town. It's going to be a tough one. But really, that is the test for me. If Arkansas can withstand that test and play Alabama close and not get blown out, I love where this team is going. If they get blown out, we're just back to Are they there yet? Are they the team that can actually make the Final Four? Now, if they go on the road, they beat Alabama, I'll be all in on that. I will be all in on that. They beat Alabama. If we're talking next week, they beat Alabama and Missouri, we're going to be feeling good. We're going to be feeling really good. But anyway, that's enough Arkansas men's basketball talk. Let's move on to the baseball world. Diamond Hogs opening up their season this past weekend in Arlington, Texas. So far, they played 3 games as of this recording. They will play on Monday against Tarleton State around 2 o'clock, so it's around the time that this show will be airing. So we're not going to talk about that game. We're going to talk about the 3 main games because Arkansas should dominate Tarleton State, so we shouldn't have to really look into those details that much. And really, we're not going to look at the details much here, but a good performance from the Razorbacks. I think there are some concerns, but it's just so early on in the season. This was all just a learning opportunity and see which guys can actually withstand the pressure. They lost a game, a 5-4 loss to the 10th ranked team in the country. Oh well, no big deal. They're fine. The day before that, so let's go chronologically here real quickly. 12-2 win in 8 innings against Oklahoma State. Great. 5-4 loss against TCU Saturday night, and then Sunday a 6-5 win in 11 innings against Texas Tech. That one, I think Arkansas was up 4-1, maybe 5-1. I think it was 4-1. I think it was 4-1. It was 4-1. Sorry, 4-1 at the top of the ninth. 3 outs away from winning the game. And they bring Cooper Dawson in there, a guy who's been injured for, I think he had Tommy John surgery a year or two ago, and he's expected to have a bigger role this season. Came in there, he loads the bases, and I think he hits a batter or walks someone or gives up a couple hits, and all of a sudden it's a 1-score game. Bring in low note guy. Not Hunter. No. Steele Eves. They bring in Steele Eves to replace him. He hits a guy. All of a sudden the ball game's tied, or maybe that cut it to 1 or something, and then Texas Tech hits the base hit. They go up by 1, which is disappointing. But what everyone should really like is that team responded, and one player in particular. Arkansas was down 1. They were down to their final couple outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, and that would have been a disappointing, frustrating loss. And it's a little frustrating that they had to go to extra innings. But in steps Cam Kojul, the second baseman, the star playmaker, who had some big plays last season. He steps up to the plate, he hits a home run. Ties the ball game up, forces extra innings, and Arkansas ends up winning in extra innings. So before we talk about some other key playmakers, kind of my MVPs from the weekend for the Razorbacks, let's hear what Dave Van Horn had to say to his team after that thrilling 6-5 win over Texas Tech on Sunday.
Good job coming back and winning the game. That's all I got to say. I'm going to say about 3 more things. How about our starting pitcher today, man? That was a beautiful job. Great job. Hey, the game's not over till it's over. They gave us some runs. You guys took advantage of it. Today's the first day we've really walked. I mean, how about our leadoff guy? He's on base 6 times in a row. I mean, great day. And you guys took advantage of it. We're still leaving guys out there. We're going to start driving them in tomorrow, all right? Hey, we came here to play baseball, right? We got another game. That was a really good comeback win. Clutch swing by Kojul, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Not a problem. 2 really good at-bats there in the top of the 9th. Base hit, and then just enough sac fly to get us in, okay? Hey, good win, man. Let's get out.
All right, so good win for the Razorbacks to get a good game for the Razorbacks to get the win there, and shout out to Cam Kojul. A couple other key players before we move on to the softball. You see behind me, Damian Ruiz 5 for 7. Ryder Helfrich had a great game, especially Friday. He had a great weekend, especially Friday. 2 home runs in that game. He was 5 for 14 on the weekend. Kohio Loy 3 for 8. Pitching wise, Colin Fisher was great in their win against Texas Tech on Sunday. 5 innings pitched, just 1 hit, 8 strikeouts. Tate McGuire was also good. I think he pitched Saturday. 5 inning pitch, no hits, 4 strikeouts. Gabe Gackel, Arkansas's Friday starter, their ace, was good. Obviously I didn't watch this game because it's on Flow Sports. I'm not going to pay $20 a month to watch it, but kept up with the stats, highlights, did all these things. He was decent. But yeah, Arkansas's performance of the weekend, I'd give it a B. I'd give it a B or B+. It could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot better. But that's okay. We'll take a B. All right, let's talk about softball. Arkansas softball going to San Marcos, Texas, and facing off against multiple teams in a 4-team tournament. Getting the win against Wichita State, run-rolled them 10-2. Getting the win against Clemson, a top 25 ranked Clemson team, 12-0 in 5 innings. Robin Herron was terrific in that one. 5 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, no runs. Really impressive what she was able to do. Saturday, 11-1 win over BYU. Sunday, 9-0 win over Texas State. All of these wins were run rule victories for the Razorbacks. They didn't have to play the full 7 innings. They got cut short at 6 or 5 because Arkansas dominated that much. Some offensive weapons. Dakota Kennedy was great. Ella McDowell, Reagan Johnson. Some of those familiar faces that we saw last year are contributing to this year's Arkansas softball team, and it's fun. They got some new players as well. Tiana Bell, one of them. Dakota Kennedy, another one of them. Arkansas softball is a very good team, so it's going to be fun to continue to keep up with them for the rest of the season. All right, let's go to basketball now. I believe we're going to go to the men's side for some Arkansas basketball. A little different format than we've done in the past. We've got just the layout behind me of the 4 other Division I teams that played over the weekend. We'll start left to right. We'll start with Arkansas State. The Red Wolves had a 3-game win streak going. They lost over the weekend to South Alabama, 92-88, the final score. It's a good USA team. This was a game that went to overtime, so it was thrilling. It was close. Christian Harmon was terrific for the Red Wolves, 33 points. A-State shot the ball great, 40% from the field, 39% from beyond the arc. We'll take that every day of the week. You win most games when you shoot that much and when you score. Did I do that score wrong? I think they lost this game. I may have got that flipped because I'm pretty sure A-State lost this game. South Alabama, that's wrong behind me. South Alabama at 92 points, A-State 88 points. Just want to make that clarification. That's on me. But Christian Harmon's great. They shot the ball well, but turnovers were the issue for A-State. 18 turnovers. And again, that's not going to win you games. You shoot the ball well, you're going to win games, but you turn the ball over, you don't. So that's something I want to see A-State clean up going forward. They're middle of the line in the Sun Belt, right? We thought they were going to be that team that's upper echelon of the Sun Belt. They're mid to upper echelon, I would say, right now. So they've still got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time. 5 or 6 games left in the season for Arkansas State. Let's go top right corner, Little Rock and Eastern Illinois. Eastern Illinois taking them down by 6. The Trojans out-rebounded by 9. Their rocky season continues. I think it's 6 of the last 7 games they have lost. So it's been a rough go for the Trojans team that was picked to win the conference in the preseason. They had all those injuries. And, those injuries are rearing their ugly head in a lot of these games. All right, bottom left, complete opposite. How about UCA? How about the Bears? A 79-62 win over West Georgia. UCA now 17-10 overall, 12-2 in ASUN play. They have a 10-game win streak. And I mentioned there's 17 games that they've won this season. That's the most games they've ever won in the Division I era. And that is really impressive. This UCA team was not great last season, and they are great this season. They have the potential to win the whole conference and to make it to the NCAA tournament. And man, am I rooting for them. I am rooting for that team. I'm rooting for Coach Schulman and those guys to get it done. And the impressive thing to me about this game, it wasn't the prettiest game for UCA, especially Cam Hunter. We talk about him every week scoring 25-plus points. He didn't do it in this game. He scored 9 points. And you know what? UCA still won by double digits. Granted, it was against a Midwest Georgia team, but they got it done. And Ty Robinson was a big guy who helped out with that. 23 points, 10 rebounds, double-double with I think he's a freshman, the freshman from Hot Springs. So great win for UCA. They just continue to head in the right direction. They are a fun team to watch. And man, we are definitely going to be rooting for them. And finally, in the men's world, UAPB and Alabama State. Not a good loss for UAPB. They had a 5-game win streak going, but they get blown out by 18 points to a bad Alabama State team. An Alabama State team that was 4-7 previously. Now they're 5-7 in conference. And UAPB's been heading the right direction, and they still might be. Just one loss can't deter you too much. But similar to Arkansas State, turnovers hurt them. 22 turnovers for the Golden Lions. Queon Williams was good, but you can't turn the ball over that many times. 22 turnovers for UAPB, only 11 for Alabama State. So that differential there is really what hurt UAPB. All right, that is men's basketball, the Saturday scores for the men. Let's go to the women's side of things for all of our 4 teams that we have talked about and cover every week on the show. We'll start in the top left. Arkansas State losing just like the men. This is a 3rd straight loss, though, for the Lady Red Wolves. This is shocking for Destiny Rogers and a team that has been really good this season. But if you remember, if you watch the show, you'll know they haven't been looking amazing in that win streak. They've had turnovers. They've had a lot of missed 3-pointers. They've done a great job on defense, but just offense shaky at times. And I said, if you remember, if we rewind the tape and watch it back from a few weeks ago, I'm a little worried about this team going forward because of all these mistakes that they're making, but they're still winning the games, so it's good. And now they're playing some teams that are a little bit better than they were playing, and it's showing. 54 points for Arkansas State. That's bad. They shot the ball horribly. 26% from the field, 14% from beyond the arc. They forced 24 turnovers, but they had some turnovers themselves, and not good. Not good for Arkansas State. So hopefully they can turn that around. They need to. We are a few weeks away from March starting, and you got to play your best basketball in March if A-State wants to make it to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. All right, top right corner, Little Rock women falling to Eastern Illinois, 75. Did I flip this one again, too? I think Little Rock won this as well. It's tough. It's a new format. I'm doing this, so this is on me. I'm pretty sure Little Rock won this game 75-53. So flip that score again. My apologies. But still, this is a Little Rock team that's been inconsistent. The past 6 games, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. I'm pretty sure is how it's went. It's just been inconsistent. I like that we saw Brennan Burke take a step up in this game. 19 points for her. Jordan Hallman was still good with her 15 points, but inconsistent. Not what I love out of Little Rock. All right, let's talk about UCA. In the bottom left corner of your screen, you see it behind me. UCA getting the win over Bellarmine easy, 85-37, their 5th straight win. Bellarmine is one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the Atlantic Sun this season, so that was kind of a no-brainer for UCA. It was on the road, but from the get-go, they just dominated in this game, and they've got 5 wins in a row. The UCA men, 10 wins. The UCA women, 5 wins, all in a row. You like that. You like that, UCA fans, right? You're in mid-February, and you're playing good basketball. So as long as that's still happening in March, you're in really good shape. And then finally, UAPB women falling to Alabama State, 79-71, the final score there. All right, quickly before we wrap up the show, we had other baseball teams face off this weekend, so let's talk about all of them real quickly. Little Rock, A-State, UAPB, and UCA. Let's talk about the Trojans baseball first. Remember the miraculous run they made last year in the OVC tournament. They were terrible. They were a 7 or an 8 seed, I feel like. They won 4 or 5 games in a row. They won the tournament championship. They punched their first ever ticket to the NCAA tournament. They beat a couple teams. They beat Dallas Baptist. They beat LSU, but then LSU had to beat them twice because Little Rock had lost. Regional, it's a little complicated. Little Rock baseball coming off a terrific season. And I started out with a good series win over the weekend, a 2-1 series win over Eastern Michigan. Friday, the 6-1 win. Saturday, not amazing. Going to look at pitching. I haven't looked at the details there, but not amazing. 11-6 loss, and then came back Sunday and got a 2-0 win, and that pitching was good. MVP from the weekend for the Trojans, a name you should be familiar with if you followed the team last year, Angel Cano, 6 for 14, a couple RBIs, a massive home run on Friday. That was awesome to watch in person at Gary Hogan Field. Little Rock starts out 2-1 on the season. Arkansas State, a 3-0 sweep to start their season, 9-8 win, a 4-0 win, and a 12-5 win. The MVP from their week, Patrick Inskov, kind of like we saw last year, 7 for 15 on his at-bats. Lane Walton, 3 home runs and over the weekend for Lane Walton. That's good. We'll take that. And then finally, their pitcher, Jack Nelson, 6 innings pitched, 0 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. We'll take that for their Friday night starter for the Red Wolves, and to start out 3-0 on the season. Then finally, our final 2, UCA going 2-2 and splitting the series against Louisiana Monroe. UAPB also going 2-2, splitting the series 2-2 versus Lindenwood. Crazy thing that happened with UAPB, in case you didn't see it. Their game was going on Saturday. This is when the rain hit. They were down 0-1. They scored 0 runs. They had the bases loaded at the bottom of the 9th inning. The game was postponed because of the rain. So they had to stop the game right there. The field was so wet that they moved from Pine Bluff, traveled an hour away to Pulaski Academy. They finished the game Sunday morning at Pulaski Academy's high school baseball field. And what does UAPB do? Well, they win the game. They had the bases loaded. They get a base hit. They walk it off on PA's field. How unique is that to finish a baseball game and to even the series? So congrats to Logan Stout and his group for winning that game and for tying the series with Lindenwood. So that is all the baseball and basketball talk. We'll finally move on to my Luttie's look ahead, which is Arkansas basketball. I mentioned it earlier in this show. The Razorbacks, the Crimson Tide. It is a tough game. I imagine Arkansas will be number 18 maybe when the AP poll comes out today. Alabama could be ranked, so it could be a top 25 matchup. But once again, Alabama not the team they've been in years past, certainly not, but they're still a good team, and Arkansas will still need to bring their A game. They'll need to start out hot. They need to get their guys healthy. They need to make sure Carter Knox is healthy. Get DJ Wagner in there. Get Isaiah Seeley some playing time again. Get some of these guys healthy and ready to go, because this is a big game. If Arkansas wins this, that's good. They've got a lot of momentum if they can win that game. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Luttie's Look Back. We talked a lot of basketball. We talked a lot of baseball. It's going to be the exact same next week, but even more fun. Hopefully talking about some more wins for our teams here in the Natural State. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you same time, same place next week.